Ectomorph, the endurance survivor. You can't gain weight no matter what you eat. People tell you to eat a burger. They don't understand what they're looking at. Your body is a survival machine, built for one thing: outlasting everyone when the sun doesn't stop and the hunt doesn't end. 50,000 years ago, your ancestors hunted across African grasslands, not with weapons that guaranteed kills, with endurance, the ability to keep going. Persistence hunting. Chase an antelope for 6 hours under brutal sun. The animal overheats, dies from heat stroke. You're still running. Heavier builds tried this. They collapsed. Your lean frame kept moving. Your body has more skin surface compared to your body size. Think of it like a radiator. More surface means heat escapes faster. While muscular hunters generated heat and quit, your build let that heat out efficiently. Less muscle meant less heat created during long runs. The antelope had speed. You had something better: the ability to keep going when every other body type stopped. Your fast metabolism demands constant fuel. Minimal fat storage means no backup energy during famine. Those are real vulnerabilities. But in tropical climates with reliable food, where endurance mattered more than bulk, your body was the top hunter. When everyone else stopped to catch their breath, the ectomorph was still hunting. That's why you're here. Endomorph, the famine survivor. Society looks at your body and sees a problem. Biology looks at your body and sees a miracle. You're the reason entire bloodlines survived when food disappeared and everyone else starved to death. Wider frame, higher body fat, metabolism that stores everything like the apocalypse starts tomorrow. People call this slow. Evolution calls this genius. Your body extracts maximum energy from every meal, stores extra efficiently, requires fewer calories to function than other builds. Pacific Islanders carry a specific gene variant. 25% of Samoans have it, almost non-existent everywhere else. Today it increases obesity risk. 10,000 years ago, it was the difference between surviving ocean voyages and dying at sea. Weeks on a canoe, with minimal food. Your metabolism said, "I got this." Other builds didn't make it. Early humans faced feast or famine cycles, summer abundance, winter starvation, spring scarcity, fall hunting success. Your ancestors stored energy during good times, used stored fat during bad times, walked through famines that killed lean builds. Higher body fat provides insulation in cold, acts like a blanket, lowers risk of dying from cold. The efficiency that saved lives in scarcity creates weight gain in abundance. Your metabolism wasn't designed for grocery stores, but when conditions got brutal and food disappeared, the endomorph survived. The ectomorph didn't. Your body isn't slow, it's smart, built for the long game when storage meant survival. Mesomorph, the power hunter. You sneeze near a gym and gain muscle. We hate you, respectfully. But here's what you actually are: evolution's genetic lottery winner. The build that solved problems with explosive force when speed and endurance weren't enough. Broad shoulders, naturally defined muscle, visible abs, even when you haven't trained in months. Your body came with advantages installed. You carry more fast-twitch muscle fibers. These are muscle cells that explode into quick, powerful motion, generate force others can't match. Early human groups needed people who could take down dangerous animals, build substantial shelters, win physical confrontations. That was you, the defender, the hunter, the one who threw spears that connected. You have a specific gene variant that produces a special protein in your muscles. Translation: your muscles respond to training like they're starving for it. Just some training creates dramatic results. Your body converts protein from food into muscle tissue almost effortlessly. A few weeks of training, you look like you've been lifting for months. Other builds work for years for your baseline. Downside: high protein requirements. More heat generated during activity makes prolonged effort and heat challenging. But with access to animal protein through hunting success, this created a cycle. Strength enabled hunting. Hunting provided protein. When survival needed explosive action, when force mattered more than endurance, evolution called you, and you delivered. Small frame, the efficient survivor. Shorter height, smaller bones, lower muscle mass, and the ability to survive on resources that would starve larger builds. Your body requires less energy for everything: movement, maintenance, basic body functions. Less body mass means fewer total calories needed, less protein for tissue repair, less oxygen for activity. That's not weakness, that's optimization, getting the best results with least resources. Southeast Asian populations show high frequency of small stature. Indigenous Philippines groups, Indonesian populations, Central American groups. Places with little food favor smaller body sizes biologically, less fuel required to function. Tropical rainforests with food spread everywhere. Small body size reduced daily caloric requirements dramatically. More people could survive on available resources. High-altitude environments where oxygen drops. Smaller size means lower oxygen demands for your body's energy use and physical activity. Islands with limited food. Smaller populations with smaller individuals maintained viable numbers. Larger builds couldn't sustain population size. When food is limited, needing less is the advantage. Your ancestors survived because they required less to keep going. You can move through tight spaces, climb more efficiently, react faster. Less mass to get moving. The limitation is absolute strength. Smaller muscle mass means less total force generation. But in tropical regions, high altitudes, islands with restricted food, small wasn't weak. Small was smart, small was efficient, small was the body that survived when resources couldn't support anything bigger. Large frame, the cold climate giant. Taller stature, longer limbs, broader bones, and the heat-keeping benefit that meant survival when cold killed smaller builds. You're built with less skin surface compared to body size. That's physics. In environments where cold kills, physics saves lives. Less skin surface means your body retains warmth that smaller builds lose to the air. Northern European populations show this clearly. Ice Age Europe, Arctic regions, places where winter didn't end, and cold was lethal. There's a biological rule. Populations in colder climates trend toward larger body size. The physics are simple and brutal. For populations in extreme cold, larger size wasn't beneficial. It was necessary, required for survival itself. Lower risk of dying from cold. Reduced food needs for maintaining body temperature. Ability to tolerate extreme cold. Your substantial frame supports greater muscle mass. Absolute strength needed for hunting giant animals, mammoths, woolly rhinoceros, constructing shelters that withstand harsh winters, transporting heavy loads across frozen landscapes. Longer limbs create mechanical advantages. Longer arms and legs work like longer tools, produce more power. The cost? Significantly higher food needs, more calories for basic metabolism, more protein for muscle maintenance. Less skin surface that retains heat becomes severe liability in hot climates. Overheating during sustained activity becomes dangerous. But in cold climates requiring heat retention, hunting requiring strength and reach, these costs were worth it. Your ancestors hunted mammoths in Ice Age Europe, built shelters that survived Arctic winters, dominated when size mattered. Hybrid build, the adaptable survivor. Not too lean, not too heavy, not specialized. And that's exactly why your ancestors survived when conditions changed and specialists died. Balanced proportions, moderate muscle, reasonable fat storage. Your body doesn't excel at one thing. It handles everything. Evolution favored versatility, being good at multiple things when environments changed unpredictably. Specialists dominated stable conditions. All-arounders survived unstable ones. Early humans faced changing climates, shifting food sources, varied physical demands. Populations that could do everything survived better. You build muscle when you train, lean out when needed, maintain stability between extremes. Your body adjusts to situations. Mediterranean populations show high frequencies. East African groups, regions requiring multiple physical capabilities. You're not the fastest, not the strongest, not the most efficient, but you're never the first to fail either. When lean builds couldn't handle strength tasks, you could. When heavy builds couldn't handle endurance, you could. The hidden advantage isn't being best at one thing. It's being capable at everything when conditions change. In terms of how your body works, you manage energy well, respond predictably to training. Injury resistance is higher. Early humans didn't know what tomorrow demanded: speed, strength, endurance, defense. Your ancestors could handle all of it. Evolution didn't design you for show. It designed you to keep going, no matter what came next. When environmental conditions shifted and killed specialized builds, the hybrid adapted and survived. That's the advantage. You're what happens when evolution said versatility beats specialization, and across thousands of generations, it did.